Hello. This presentation is all about movement of relational data. Migration of relational data of DB2 databases, for example, can be challenging. Before we are able to move any data, we need to take care of the data's definition, the DDL. Are all objects or databases whose data we intend to migrate already present at the target? Which ones are missing, hence must be created? Do they all have the same structure and layout as their source counterparts? If not, how can the deviations be handled? Simply put, BCV5 automates everything. With BCV5, you can create additional test or training systems at a keystroke. More generally, as you see here, with BCV5 you can migrate data from one DB2 subsystem to another, even across LPARs and physical systems. Or you can duplicate databases within one subsystem in an instant. There are many opportunities to benefit from BCV5. Migrations, conversions, refresh of training systems, etc. However, most users deploy BCV5 intensively for the repeated refresh of test systems, mainly for test beds of final unit tests, integration, and performance tests, acceptance tests, and the like. That is, they copy regularly from production or pre-production to various test beds. BCV5 users experience savings of 90% in three key areas. Let's have a look where. First, the elapsed time. That is, the time from the beginning to the end of a BCV5 task. BCV5 is indeed 10 times faster than any comparable tool. That means the process times of your current DB2 mass data movements can simply be divided by 10. Or in other words, a process that currently lasts 10 hours, let's say refreshing an integration test bed for example, will take a mere 1 hour with BCV5. And this also means that the process now fits much better in the general workflow of a data center. Ad hoc copies now become possible. A second area of savings is the CPU time. The CPU time is a measure of resource consumption. BCV5 saves resources, which saves money. Please have a look at the job listings of one of your larger DB2 data movements. Divide the number CPU time by 10, because with BCV5 you'll save 90%. Afterwards, please multiply the difference by your internal cost of a CPU to get the savings that are possible with only this single process. Who doesn't like to save money? But not only savings are crucial, it might be more important that we now can afford to renew the data more frequently. Because this is what quality assurance continually asks for, right? And more often than not, at less cost. Users say BCV5 saves manual efforts. What is meant by this? BCV5 trials, tests, proofs of concept have repeatedly confirmed that the deployment of BCV5 leads to more than 90% saving in the area of manual preparation and finishing. This is not surprising once one knows that BCV5 copy tasks run fully automated, controlled by the scheduler. No matter what particularities are encountered, whether extensive renaming or compatibility tests are required, or whether some objects are currently not available, BCV5 takes the appropriate actions autonomously. Where does this speed and efficiency come from? BCV5 does not handle single rows of tables. Instead, it copies table spaces as a whole. In other words, it works highly parallel, in multi-thread mode, as programmers say. It doesn't copy a single row from source to target. It handles 10 or 20 or even more table spaces concurrently. The rebuild of indexes takes time and is expensive in respect of CPU time consumption. BCV5 avoids this because it copies the index spaces as well. One of the unpopular post-processing tasks of traditional data migration is building the run stats. It takes a long time and is expensive as well. BCV5 transfers run stats and RTS, real-time statistics, within seconds during the copying. DB2 isn't involved in the BCV5 copy. BCV5 works offline to DB2. which is different with an unload load-based process that requires DB2 and causes load within the DB2. A further significant savings that's not obvious and normally ignored. Here are some numbers provided by users. We see the amount of data. Second column, number of objects, third, and the last two columns show the respective copy times. Without going into details, the savings of copy time is around 90%, sometimes even better. If you'd like, we can gladly put you in direct contact with our users. In one way or another, CPU load has to be paid. Each and every job has a price. BCV5 users acknowledge that savings in CPU time alone compensate for the cost of the license fee. BCV5 turns fault-prone projects like data movements into scheduler-driven tasks. BCV5 copy tasks are fast, hence shorter. Even huge data movements fit into normal night shifts. Weekend work is eliminated. BCV5 simplifies and automates the copy process, so experts are no longer needed. A DBA should inspect and approve a new task definition, but execution is scheduler-driven. With BCV5, it becomes possible to refresh data when needed. Delivery on demand. That's it. But there is more. BCV5 allows for copy subsets of tables using where clauses. If this is your special focus, please also have a look at our product, XDM. Data masking, also known as data scrambling, and data anonymization, is the process of replacing sensitive information with realistic but scrambled data, based on scrambling rules. Data masking is applicable for virtually any situation when confidential or regulated data, see privacy rules, needs to be shared with non-production users. The goal is de-identification. BCV5's anonymization function allows one to modify sensitive fields like names, addresses, social security numbers, etc. on the fly, which means the data source may contain the original data, while the target, normally a testbed or a development system, receives anonymized data. Intensive testing of data logic often requires one to modify the content of relevant date columns or fields. BCV5 allows a rule-based time journey, which means each designated date field is shifted forward by a certain user-specified number of days. Like masking, this also happens during copying. This way, users can build aged data stocks for intensive tests of calendar or date logic. BCV5 offers a command language, formally called batch interface. It allows the creation and execution of BCV5 tasks through programs, jobs, or any other application. It allows also mass changes on present BCV5 copy tasks. Tests modify data. The Icebox feature allows one to take snapshots, sometimes called baselines, and to rebuild the former or initial state from a baseline. Iced test data can be restored in any DB2 subsystem, not only in the original. The Icebox feature is especially useful when different versions of test data need to be maintained. BCV6 offers all the features of BCV5, plus it has the capability to copy consistently from busy production systems. The copied data is consistent to a specific point in time. How often do you copy? Why so seldom? How much do you copy? What would it mean to your organization if you could achieve 3 times 90% savings? Are you keen to see what you can accomplish with BCV5 in your installation? Order a free trial and see for yourself that you can save 90% copy time, 90% CPU consumption, and 90% manual lead time. Thank you for your attention. From your UBS Heiner team.